I got your text.
Hey, all right, excellent. Okay, well, so here's the deal, everybody. We are, hey, welcome. There's more faces. All right, well, more rectangles. We are going to be recording meetings from now on. Most of the time, it won't look like this because it won't just be me sitting here. We have a new camera that is going to be able to see the whole room, which will be great. We're working on getting accessory microphones so that basically it'll pick up everybody talking, which is great. If anybody at any point sees me talking, it's Beckham's here, so like I'm not talking to myself. I'm not that crazy yet. I haven't completely lost my mind. Oh yeah, there you go. So yeah, basically, I'm going to try and keep things brief tonight. I've got a very set amount of stuff, and the good news is that if you are not watching this live, if you're not actually in on the group meeting right now, it doesn't matter because people can watch this later, and that is the goal for all meetings going forward. This camera is, just a single setup for tonight, where unfortunately you're just staring at my face. But like I said, going forward, the goal is that we will be able to actually show possibly even switching between cameras, like for when we have like up close stuff, or we're talking about like build techniques, or we're gonna have some build competitions and stuff going on. That'll be cool because hopefully we can have like a top down camera already set up that I can switch to, so the people in the meeting will be able to see what we're looking at. But for this meeting, it's just a face forward. But if anybody has, obviously my husband usually does all the tech stuff, but if anybody has any skill with this stuff and wants to help get involved, or has any suggestions that will make the meetings better or the experience for people that are online and aren't physically in person for a meeting better, by all means, your suggestions are absolutely welcome. We now have a huge touchscreen smart board at the clubhouse. That's what I'm using for the meeting right now, so I can actually see everybody. If we were doing, for example, a fully virtual meeting and we were all like building stuff, I would be able to see all of you guys like on this huge screen in front of me. Hang on one sec. I got one person. When I click to join voice, it says I do not have access. Okay, hang on one second, guys. All right, I think right now that the virtual lug meeting, I thought it was helpful on our Discord. If this person, okay, hang on, I'm going to make sure that this person is a user that's, all right. Just give me 1 second. Let me, since I've got somebody that's actually trying to get into the group, give me 1 second to make sure I can get this person in. Here we go. I see what the problem is. Okay. If anybody is showing as not an active member, it looks like it's not allowing them in. So not sure how to set that. You're gonna have to give me just 1 second. There we go. That's Mike, right? Yes. Okay, good. Perfect. Excellent, excellent. Okay. So first of all, and if would you be okay if I call out the names, if you can add them to the okay. So we've got Allison, Alyssa, Alyssa, Brandon, Chris, just Kris, Luis, Luis, Matt P. Yep. Mike M, Oliver, Tim K, and Torin, Torin, and then obviously yourself. Yep. All right, and if anybody else hops in, all right. Hey guys, so if you're watching this and you already saw the meeting yesterday, you might notice that I look a little bit different from the beginning of the video and from yesterday. That's because for whatever reason, the camera stopped recording in the middle of the meeting. It actually didn't record about 36 minutes of the hour-long video, which is not terribly helpful. It actually missed pretty much all of the important stuff. So I'm back on here tonight. I know I'm not talking to anybody but myself, but I am re-recording the video, and I'm hoping that I can get through this in a more concise manner than I did yesterday, where I was distracted by a lot of the tech issues that we were having, trying to make sure that meetings record from now on. I wanted to welcome everybody that is watching this after the fact, or if you're rewatching this to kind of remember what we talked about yesterday. I appreciate it. Obviously, it's going to take a little while to get all the tech working properly and get everything up and running and flowing the way it's supposed to. But thank you for hanging in there and being patient. And I appreciate you coming back to watch this if you missed it the first time around. The very first reason that I called this kind of impromptu last minute meeting, there was two main reasons. One was to talk about the things that need to get finished at the clubhouse over the next weekend, the next upcoming week. I didn't realize at the time when we first started discussing that Sunday is Father's Day. So obviously, I don't expect anybody to take their Father's Day and spend it here doing work for the clubhouse. It is possible. Some people had said something about being available on Sunday. And if that is the case and anybody wants to come by, please, by all means, let me know. But I also completely understand if everybody wants to enjoy their Father's Day, doing their own thing. But Saturday, we are definitely going to be here at the clubhouse. There are no set hours for Saturday. It's going to depend wildly on what time volunteers want to come. So if you are available on Saturday, there will be a discussion started. It'll be on the left side. If you go down through the Discord and look for a discussion called cleaning, sorting, etc., all of the clubhouse events that I'm talking about for this Saturday and whatever doesn't get done on Saturday will kind of roll forward into the week and the following weekend. These are all things that are going to be discussed under the cleaning / sorting, etc. tab. That's where we're going to discuss all the projects that still need to be done for the clubhouse. So basically, I'm going to get into all of the tasks that need to be done here on the second half of the meeting. The very first half, I want to talk about kind of what's going on with the projects that the club has right now and what our goal is for the short term. So basically, we are aiming towards having a grand opening in the fall for the clubhouse. We are trying to spend the summer getting the word out to let people know that we exist, promoting the club in any way possible, and kind of getting the clubhouse on a good footing so that come fall, we can have both a really successful open house meeting that goes on, probably going to be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or at least a Saturday, Sunday event. We want to have a show to show off all of our creations, both the stuff that the club has and stuff that individuals have made. We're going to talk more about the specifics as we get a little bit closer to that show. But the main thing that we need to focus on as a club is getting all of the current builds that the club has that are basically almost ready to go or needs a little bit of touch-ups across the finishing line so that those things can be shown at the grand opening. So what we're looking for right now is 5 volunteers that are willing to be project managers for the different builds that are going on. Now, normally a project manager volunteers for a build and they're kind of, that build is their baby. So they would volunteer to kind of oversee that project for its lifetime. However, since all of the builds that we're talking about right now are in various stages of being complete and ready to go, what we really need is 5 short-term volunteers that will help see these different builds across the finish line so that they are ready to go for that show in the fall. I'm going to explain one by one the different projects that the club is working on right now because I'm hoping to get a discussion started and to get people that are actually wanting to come and build interested in these different projects, and so that people can start saying, hey, I'm interested in working on this project and this project, or, you know, stepping up basically and saying that they want to get involved. Because instead of me talking at everyone and saying, hey, these are all the things that need to get done, which sound overwhelming to everyone, if we can get 5 short-term volunteers that'll be the project managers for the different projects through till the fall, they will be kind of the point of contact, both in the discussions in our Discord channel and also like kind of in the real world. So yesterday, Beckham was here and we used him as an example. We basically said, if Beckham had volunteered to be in charge of the first project, which is the Christmas Village, basically what would happen is Beckham would go to the discussion groups on the left-hand side and would be checking that Discord channel kind of regularly and encouraging people to get involved with that build. So as the project manager, it would be his job to supervise the discussion group here on Discord and to make sure that people are talking about it, that people are coming out, that basically something's happening. That, you know, that there are regularly people coming out to work on these builds and that the build is getting done. Obviously, if weeks have gone by and nobody has come in to do anything on that project, that's a problem because it's not going to be done in time for the show. And the last thing we all want is to roll up to like the first week of September and to have, 5 different projects that all have hours and hours worth of work, and then for everybody to be cramming to try to get these things done. We have all summer. So the goal here is to get people in, get people building, and by having volunteers to step up as project managers, it will help so that you know who your point of contact is instead of everybody coming to me for everything. It's not that I don't want to be involved in any of the particular builds. It's just that, if there's only 3 or 4 people, for example, that are working on the Christmas Village, they can talk amongst themselves in the discussion group here on Discord. They can reach out to Beckham if they're like, hey, I finished working on the firehouse on Tuesday when I was there. What, should I work on next? And because he will be overseeing that project, again, I'm just using him as an example. He didn't actually volunteer to take that project on, but you would be able to reach out to him and say, hey, what's the next thing that needs to be done? What's the status of this? I see that this is half built. Is anybody finishing this? So I'm going to meet individually with the people that volunteer as project managers, and I will get into all the minutia of each of their particular project one-on-one. We'll either have a digital meeting on here, or they can come to the clubhouse and meet up with me, and we can walk through, okay, here's exactly what is already done. Here's what needs to be done. And, kind of if you have X number of people, that would be a great goal to get this project finished. Some of these different projects are like, mere hours away from completion. Others have a bunch of steps that need to be done. So the 5 projects that need project managers right now are the Christmas Village, the apartment building, Islewood, Caden's Minecraft build, which I'll explain, even though that's technically my son's build. I'm still looking for an adult club volunteer to help get involved because that project is going to need some coordination as we get ready to go to the show. For example, I just need help with figuring out how many plates there are, what sets aren't included yet in that build. And if somebody's willing to step in and get involved with Caden to get all of that organized, it'll be one more thing that's getting done. The next thing is the city street / modulars. So real quick, I'm going to break down kind of the basics of what needs to be done so that anybody that's on here just looking for, hey, what can I get involved with building? What projects are happening right now so that you can hopefully get involved with one of these. Okay, here's what needs to be done with each. For the Christmas Village, we are currently taking individual sets and expanding the set so that it's not just the front of the building like most of the original Lego Christmas sets are. I'm going to bring one of them over here so that I can use it as an example and show you real quickly. Okay, here we go. So this is one of the Christmas sets. This may have even been last year's or possibly the year before. And basically the goal is that we're taking the actual official Lego Christmas sets, the way that they're designed and built on the box, instead of building them so that they are exactly like they appear on the box, we're trying to put them in the format of, those ceramic Christmas villages where you have each individual building is kind of its own thing. And if you wanted to put up a display of them, you would basically put all of the Christmas houses or shops or whatever individually on a table in a semicircle. So the goal is to get each of the sets built on its own independent like plot of land. It's kind of hard to see against the white tablecloth, but basically a custom shaped landscape was built and then all of the parts of the set were added to it. Now, this set hasn't had anything done particular to kind of fill it out, but as you can see, it's just the front of the building. The goal for this set would be to get more parts similar to the ones from the set, color matching, kind of making it still look in line with what the set looked like, and building out the walls, maybe having it come out a little bit wider, and then filling it in to put the back of the building on, so that it's an actual 4-sided completed building that you can view from all sides without any damage. Actually took the set instructions and we rebuilt more of the trees in the exact same way that they came with the original set, and then helped to fill out the scenery. It still needs more trees to be added. But basically the idea is to make it look like a snowy landscape, and it should all be one piece all together so that the entire thing can be picked up. And when all the sets are done, each building can just be brought out of its storage box or whatever it's being kept in and put on the table, and you have a beautiful Christmas Village display without the complicated setup of something like Tilewood, where it's all one continuous giant build that has to safely connect together, and it's all interlocked, and it's this huge display. We'll be able to take it to shows and display it in the future, where basically each of these buildings will be easily able to come out of its transport box, go up on the table, go onto the display, and if we add future buildings, we don't need to worry about building more plates and extending a build and having it all connect together. Each individual building can be built independently. And honestly, if we didn't have all of the builds finished in time for the September show, it's not the end of the world because we can just display all the ones that are finished. So the ultimate goal for the project manager would be overseeing that each of these builds is being worked on, that people are stepping up to get involved, and also if anybody needs help with the actual building portion of things, I'm happy to get involved. I'm happy to help get people over the hump of maybe not being comfortable with custom building. I can show you how you can open up the instruction manual and use the directions in the instructions to expand this build and to fill out the back half of it, even if you don't feel comfortable doing that completely on your own, independently of instructions. So right now we have, I think there's a total of 8 or 9 Christmas sets. We have 2 or 3 that are almost complete in their expanded size, as in the sides and back of the building have all been added to. They're on a full plot of land that the whole piece is done and all of the decoration is complete. We have 1 that we need to pull the parts. The pieces are still mixed in with the clubhouse library. All those parts need to be pulled. And then there's a handful of others where the original set, like this one, is built, but the expansion has not been done yet. So we've got things in all various states of the project, and we would love for people to come out, get involved, and to help us get the Christmas Village built up so that we have this display done both for the fall and for the winter season, as we get invited to a ton of shows in November and December. And as of yet, the club has never had a chance to participate in any of those because we haven't had anything easy that we could just take to a show and set up and be there for 3 hours and then put it back in boxes and bring it home. Up until this point, the displays that we've had, like Tilewood, that take all day to set up, aren't feasible to go to a show that is a temporary thing. It would be great if we had the availability of having this build done, not only for our open house, because it's going to be a really cool display, but going into the winter season, having this display all finished, being able to add the light sets to it so that it lights up, is going to just be a great thing for the club. And we could even conceivably do a display at the Cherry Hill Mall for a weekend where we take turns and different club members are there handing out information about the club, and we have our big Christmas Village on display. So that's the first of the projects that need to be finished. The next thing that needs to be done is the apartment building. Currently, we have 6 floors built of the apartment building, and lots of customized apartments that members have built. It would be great if new members of the club would want to get involved with building their own custom apartment that goes into the apartment building. I'm going to show you what the custom apartments look like real quick, just in case anybody has not seen them before. So basically what you are looking at is a rectangular apartment. It's built on 2 16 by 16 base plates that are side by side. The door is right here. It's always 2 studs off from the front. It has to be a regular standard size door. And then on the back, 4 studs over from the end, we have a double door. And this is a sliding door on all of the various apartments, so that when you put your apartment into the structure of the building, your doors, the front door and the sliding door to the outside, line up with the actual build of the building. Obviously, this was a Harry Potter one that someone was working on and they didn't finish. You can either have it be 2 separate rooms. This was supposed to be like a bedroom and a living room. Obviously, it's not the size of a whole apartment because you can't fit a kitchen and a bathroom and whatever. But the idea is that your individual apartment is supposed to be following a theme. We have lots of ones that have already been finished. And when our apartment building goes to shows and being displayed, basically anybody that's present at that show would bring their apartment. Well, the club would bring the apartments, and we would put them into the apartment building for everybody to be able to visit and see them. Here are a couple more of the apartments that have been built. This is Rob's T. This is his classic space themed. As you can see, it's got a spaceship in the living room, and there's a cool and a command center, and then Benny's hanging out with his sig fig. So that's pretty awesome. That's a really cool one. And basically, if any of the new club members want to get involved and pick a theme and build an apartment, this was supposed to be a hideout for bad guys, because Lego City has a massive population of robbers and stuff. So this one kind of looks also like an escape room. And it's got all the bits and pieces in here. And again, as you can see, the front door lines up to where the front door goes. Right here, they've got two just mismatched doors, but this lines up to the sliding glass door on the outside of the apartment building. We have a total of 6 floors that have been built on the apartment building, and we have a motorized elevator that goes up and down. We also have it set up that lights can quickly be added that will illuminate the inside of all of the custom apartments, which is going to look great. Ultimately, we were hoping to have 2, maybe even 3 of these buildings, each one being either 8 or 10 stories tall, to go to shows with us. Again, this is something very easy that you can take out of the box, that you can set up on the table, and then slide all of the individual apartments into their slots. It's a different build every time people view it. If they saw us at a Philadelphia area show, and then they saw us at Chicago, and then they saw us at a clubhouse event, each time the build would be slightly different because different apartments would be displayed. It is a great thing if you want to get involved with. This is a really simple custom build. The only idea you have to have on your own is a theme. There are tons of places online. I've got resources that I will post in our Discord to give you ideas for building furniture or kind of small minifigure scale items. If you wanted to do, for example, you wanted to make the inside of it look like a movie theater, I can give you links to where you can find how to make a popcorn machine, how to make a projector, how to make movie theater seating, to give you all of the suggestions and ideas that you can then decide how you want to put them in your apartment. So I would really love for all of our current members to start thinking about, if you haven't already made an apartment, please come up with a theme, start thinking about what you might want to do. This is a single day build. None of the people that have participated have taken more than maybe 2 hours to basically put together their custom apartment. So if you want to come in, that is a great thing that you can do all in one day. Also, we need help with physically building the apartment buildings. Right now, like I said, I think we've got 6 floors currently built. Apartment buildings are 3 groups of 3 floors each. That way, when it goes together on display, it's 9 total floors, and each of those units fits neatly into a box so that they can be easily shipped to and from shows and transported without damage. So we currently need to add extra floors to the one that we have built, and we need to start a whole second building. Again, this is not creative building. This is following exactly what we already have constructed and just continuing to make it bigger. Anybody could work on this. All you have to be able to do is follow the basics of what's already been built. I would love if somebody was able to take one of these floors and add it into like the Lego Designer program so that we had an actual instruction manual. That would be great. It'd be great in case there was ever any damage to the building. We would easily be able to know how to repair it. If anybody's interested in getting involved with that, again, we need a temporary project manager. And the only goal is to see the 2 buildings, 9 stories each, get built in time for the fall. And also, hopefully, to encourage our members to build their own custom themed apartments. The discussion will be over here on the left-hand side in the Discord. You're going to want to participate in the discussion. It's called Sig Fig Apartment Building. That's the name of this build. The Christmas one is under Winter Wonderland Holiday Village. That is the name of that build. The third one is Tilewood. I did see that Allison had already volunteered to get involved, which is great. Allison's been there for the majority, almost all of Tilewood being built. Literally, I think only the very first segment of it was started before she got involved. Allison said that she was willing to kind of oversee the rebuilding of Tilewood. Tilewood, it basically needs to be taken out of its boxes, dusted off, checked all of the shops and buildings, which we have extensive photos of completed. Little repairs need to be done. If any of the new folks want to get involved and help with putting that build back together, we're going to build Tilewood across the back of the clubhouse in what will eventually be an open area for building. But for our show, that is where we're going to display it. It's a great place to have it so that people can walk all around the front sides of it and see it. But it's going to also be, it may be the last hurrah for Tilewood. It depends on whether people in the club want to get involved with that. And kind of, this will be the last chance for us to look at it all together, neatly and carefully pack it away for the future. And this time when Tilewood gets taken apart, it's either going to be fully disassembled and put back into our library, which is going to be a whole project for the whole club, or we're going to pack it away neatly and put it down at the back of Unit 10 so that we can use it for a future event or show. But one way or another, we need to get Tilewood reassembled and make some progress on getting that all cleaned up and ready for the show. The fourth project, like I had mentioned earlier, is my son's Minecraft project. Basically, he's got a ton of it done. We have a 28-foot trailer that is over at our barn that needs to be brought here to the clubhouse. And I would like somebody to help volunteer as the project manager of the Minecraft build. Yes, Caden will actively be involved. I will actively be involved. But we need to get a whole list of what is already done, what needs to be done, what sets are left to be added. We kind of need somebody to step in and help get that all organized. And then again, if anybody's willing to volunteer to help us build just the base plate covering, which again, if anybody likes Minecraft and wants to be involved in this build, I'd rather talk more about it to anybody that's interested in the Minecraft build and getting involved than to just go on and on at the meeting about all the specifics. But basically, Caden is so close. He already, I believe, has surpassed what he needed to get the Guinness World Record. But at no point, because of COVID, has his whole project been assembled all in one place. And we need to get a tent and set it up in the parking lot, which means that whoever is the project manager would also be helping to do some of the math, to count how many plates are here, how many plates are in the trailer right now. We're going to obviously have to bring it over here. And that's probably a full day's worth of work, helping to pull all the plates out, make sure that things aren't damaged. If anything is damaged, talking to Caden about what it needs to be done to repair it. Our rule has always been that while this is Caden's build and it's his world record attempt, if something was already built, but then it got damaged in transport, it's not cheating for somebody else to help repair it. So if somebody wants to spend a day putting back together Minecraft trees that have fallen over, and helping to make sure that there's enough turtles spread through all the water areas of the build, like that kind of thing. If you like Minecraft, if you have any interest in helping to get this project, this massive project that has had millions and millions of views on YouTube, to get over the finish line so that it can be shown at our fall show and so that he can actually get his award for the Guinness World Record that he's been working on since he was 5, it would be awesome to have some help with that project. The last build that is we need a volunteer for is the street and modulars. Now again, yes, all the modular buildings that are here are technically mine. However, I know that I explained this to a lot of people in the past. Unfortunately, for a time, my modulars were put up in the attic of my home, and they were supposed to come back down and go on display shelves in my bedroom. Unfortunately, my husband has 4,000 projects going on, and he never was able to get the shelves and get them installed and get my modulars back up. And so after about 1.5 years in the attic, I pulled them all down to take a bunch of them to a show to kind of help pad out all the custom buildings that club members had built. And when doing that, we found out that the heat from the attic had damaged and discolored a whole bunch of my modulars. So at this point, I'm hoping to get somebody that is willing to step in, kind of help take all the modulars out of the boxes, check out what condition they're in. Do they need to be repaired? Do all of the whatever color of block need to be removed and replaced because it's all stained or color faded. I basically want somebody that's willing to come help us take all the boxes out, take an inventory of what needs to be done. And also on our display, we only really need one of each building to be displayed. We don't need, 3 copies of the pet shop and 4 copies of the theater. So the goal would be if anybody is interested in building or rebuilding a modular building and you just want to build them like they're great sets, this is a great time to get involved because there's a whole bunch of them. They need to be taken out, taken apart, cleaned, put back together. So if you are interested in building a modular, this is the time. Get involved. Also, if anybody is looking to add any of the specific modular buildings to their collection and you don't have one, if you step in this project and get involved and help get this kind of under control and ready for display, if you're looking for a modular building, I will work with you to get a really fair deal on taking one of them home to add to your own collection, provided that you are involved with, getting the ones that we have to display condition and kind of getting things back in order. Again, I understand that these are technically my buildings, but there's a whole bunch that needs to be done before they're going to be showable. And even if I do take on the job as the project manager, I want to let people know what needs to be done. And if you are interested in any of those buildings or working on the city streets that we're going to put together for that display, we're going to basically for the show build all of the modulars and the custom modular sized buildings that club members had been working on. And we're going to display them down the length of the wall here in the classroom. I think this is about the point at which the video had cut back in from yesterday, but I am going to go over a couple other things so that when I edit this together, you may see me cutting in between clothing from yesterday and today. So as far as the work that needs to be done at the clubhouse this weekend, there's a whole bunch of different projects that need to be done. I kept saying during the meeting this weekend, but I mean Saturday, and then also during the upcoming week and into the following weekend. By the following weekend, I would really like to see these projects done so that we can reach a completion point. Because getting the clubhouse cleaned up and in a situation where we are able to build all the time is really the goal. I would really love to have some volunteers also come out sometime in the next 10 days, but not this weekend, to come get these Star Wars sets together. This should be a couple hours max. We want to get all of the smaller ships put together and also the Death Star so that we can start getting the Star Wars display, the memorial up in the ceiling, have all the ships assembled for that. It's okay if the actual ceiling work isn't done because Justin's going to be heavily involved in that. But just getting the ships done should be a very short task. Anybody that knows how to read an instruction manual can come in and just please help us get those banged out. But I do ask not to plan on coming this weekend to build because we're trying to get these clubhouse cleanup tasks done. And I'm going to go over what it is that needs to be done. We have a whole bunch of drawers with the instruction manuals that need to be brought down. I do need somebody to take kind of charge of this task. We need somebody to take on the instruction manuals as a kind of supervisor until this is done, because we've got like 9 or 10 drawers that need to be brought down here. And then we've got several bins, bags, boxes of Lego instruction manuals that need to be sorted, organized, set up against the wall where they're going to live, and everything put back away in them so that those can be a resource to club members so that people can look up instruction manuals that they need or want for projects. And also, if we've got duplicates of those, people are welcome to take home a copy if anybody's looking for a copy of instructions that they don't have. We have a ton of poly bags that have been brought down and organized. Me and my kids actually worked on that earlier today. We're going to hang them all up in the front on pegs. I need somebody willing to look up all of these poly bags on Bricklink or BrickOwl or BrickSeek, one of the other pages, and get us pricing. And I have a spreadsheet that is up. This is something you can do from home. All you need to do is go through and look at the poly bag set numbers, and then find the current selling price for it. If you want to get involved with this project, I can get on here one-on-one with you and show you exactly where to find those prices. And then we just need to add that information to the spreadsheet so that we can then manually get price stickers to go on the poly bags up here. We're trying to get the shop set up front because the idea is that the income from having the shop open 1 or 2 days a week, we might be able to do like every other Friday throughout the summer if we can get the shop set up over the next couple weeks. The goal being that come fall, maybe we can do every weekend. The money that is coming in through us selling sets on consignment, selling pick-a-brick that the club has helped to sort and organize, selling pieces that the club members have helped to organize, and sets that have been bought specifically for the clubhouse to sell, is that money is to go towards our projects, our winter end of season, end of year party, where we do our big participation raffle. You're gonna see me in other clothes talking about that. And so the sooner we get the shop up and running and start getting events and activities and promotions running, the better it's gonna be for everybody. Also, the more that we can make, the more that we have for our end of year raffle, which is all Lego that just goes back to you guys that we give away based on participation points. It's a big raffle that we hold at our holiday party. We will be having our holiday party this year. We're gonna pick a date literally at our next meeting. It's gonna be discussed, and we're gonna pick our holiday party date. Even though I know it seems like it's really far off, we want to make sure that everybody can be there. So we want to plan it way in advance so that everybody has a chance to, make sure that they can be there. And we're going to decide what we're going to be doing. So not waiting until November this year. We're making sure that this happens. The money that we hope to bring in from the shop and from other events and activities that we hold is to help bring in money so that maybe we can fly some of our members out to Chicago. Maybe you can't take a week and a half off to go to Brick World and to drive out there, but maybe you can fly out on Friday and fly home on Sunday and be there to help us display and show the things, and you can actually enjoy the show. And if we can help support financially getting some of our members out there, I know that would help some of you that maybe you can come for the weekend, but you just can't afford the trip. So if we as a club can help raise some of that money together, that would be fantastic, and we would love to see that happen. Right now, we have a whole year to work towards getting people to that show. We also have a ton of minifigs that need to be identified by using Google image search to look up what these individual minifigs are. We have hundreds of minifigs that need to be identified and priced so that we can put them up in the shop up front. Similarly, we have tons of sets. We have a whole spreadsheet with sets and set numbers. So anybody that wants to do a couple of hours worth of work at home that would really, really help benefit the lug, that would be amazing. We're going to start another chat channel on the left that specifically says Clubhouse Shop, and that's going to be where we discuss things that need to be done for the shop. Okay, as far as physical labor that needs to be done here at the clubhouse, we need to prime and paint the front room, the party room. We will get the primer, we will get the paint, but we already have most of that, but we need somebody willing to get a roller out and help us get that done. We did have a volunteer during the actual original meeting. We need somebody to use the grinder to help get the glue that was there on the floor up front from the original carpet tiles, because the only thing stopping us from having Mike's brother come in and install the laminate tile and the carpet that need to go in the walkway to the front door and then throughout the party room and the front lobby area is getting that grinder used and all of the glue ground off the ground. It's probably a job for 1 or 2 people. It needs to be vacuumed constantly as the grinder is going. It's something that you would probably need to wear a respirator. If anybody else, we have any big, strong guys that want to jump in and get involved in this, because of my joint condition and my back, it's not something that I can physically do. So I am asking for help with that. We have a couple of pick-a-brick tables that need to be put together and set up. We need to bring bulk down from the other unit and from the stuff that we've been sorting for weeks and months. We have a bunch of bulk here in the clubhouse that is either completely sorted or almost completely sorted that needs to be put away and actually put into the bins in the library. Anybody that's willing to come in and spend any amount of time either finishing sorting that bulk, I will gladly show you my methods because I've got a really efficient method for sorting. But then we also need to focus on putting away what is here. so that we can get the clubhouse cleaned up and we will no longer have bins of bulk sitting everywhere. We want to get the space cleaned out in the back of the other unit. We have an area that is all toys and clothing from our Christmas project, and most of it is just literally physically moving the bags and putting them in our trailer so that we can drive them to the place where they're being donated. So if anybody is willing to just come lift stuff for a couple of hours, it would be insanely helpful because we want to get the space opened up. And that project getting done at the back of 10, and it does involve working outside. There is no air conditioning in the back of 10, unfortunately. But once that project is done, that will allow us to move the stuff, the bulk Lego, out of the inside of Unit 10 so that we can then get the printers all set up. The 3D printer, the direct to acetate printer, the the one that prints on Lego, all of that, the multiple different kinds of printers we have. We also have 2 different like Cricut devices so that we can try to do some sticker printing and stuff. It's not air conditioned. We need to pull a ton of stuff out of there, get it put into piles and into the trailer to be taken over and donated. We have a church that's waiting for all the clothing that's over there from Project Christmas. We have a ton of toys. Again, I can oversee the project. I can come down. I can help. It's very difficult for me to do alone because if we pull everything out and then the weather looks bad or it starts getting late and everybody just bails, I can't clean it all up and do it all by myself. So I need people that are willing to come over here to commit to a number of hours and to commit to helping to get that back area of the unit cleaned out. It's about a 15-foot by 12-foot space. We want to clear all the stuff out of there that we possibly can so that we have a place to park all of our projects that are built, but not currently being displayed, both before and after this upcoming open house, grand opening show for the clubhouse, but also for all of the bulk that we own that isn't yet sorted and that isn't going to be sorted anytime soon. All of that needs to go into that space in the back of 10 and is currently in Unit 10, taking up space that it shouldn't. And the good news is, and I talked about this at the meeting yesterday, the biggest goal a lot of people have is they really want to get the printers, both the 3D printer, the direct to acetate, the printer that prints on Lego brick. People are dying to get that stuff set up and to investigate it, to check it out, to use it, to put it to use. And once we get the space cleaned out in the back of 10 and we can move all the bulk out of there, we can actually set the printers up and we can empty the room where they are all currently being stored so that we can actually start putting those things to use. So helping us get through this final cleaning and moving push will allow us to get the rest of the stuff out of the back here so that we can set tile wood up on the tables in the back. We've already got all the folding tables that we need, like ready to go. We just need to set them up side by side, cover them with a cloth, and then start putting tile wood in place where it goes. Again, it's not something that has to be done all in one day, but if people want to reach out and talk to Allison and pick a weekend day up in the future, because she works, she's over an hour away and she works during the week. But if you guys want to talk about either a day that she has off or a weekend day that she knows she has available, to plan and come in and do the bulk of getting tile wood back up in its where it goes, that would be great. But in order to do that, we need to clean the rest of the stuff out in the back of the clubhouse to take down to Unit 10, and we can't do that until the space in the back of 10 is cleaned out. So it's kind of, a problem of one thing has to be done before the next. That is basically all of the things that need to be done that I didn't get recorded on the video from yesterday. So again, you'll see me cutting in and out. I will cut to myself. But that is the biggest thing. We also have a bunch of box sets that need to have clearance stickers removed carefully so that they can go up in our shop. Obviously, it's fine that any of these sets were bought on clearance, but if we're going to put them in our shop and sell them, we don't still want the Walmart clearance stickers on there. And that alone is a project that could take a couple of hours, and we've got piles of sets that need to be physically picked up, have the stickers removed, and those will be going on to shelving and stuff that needs to be, and tables in the front room, in the party room that's going to double as our shop, but that can't be done until the grinding gets done and the painting gets done on the wall. I wanted to talk to everybody about at this mini meeting is literally our sign for out front. I'm gonna go grab what has been done so far, and I want opinions from everybody. So give me 2 seconds. Okay. All right. So we have the Lego Clubhouse sign. My question is, oh, and there is actually something else tied to this, but should we paint the background of this sign? Should we leave it wood colored? If we paint it, should it be like black or white or something? This is the one that's going to go on the actual 420 Commerce sign up by the roadway. We just wanted something to let people know, yes, this is the Lego place, without having like the actual like Lego logo out there, which you're not supposed to do. It is just 3D textured letters that are UV treated and sprayed. So hopefully the Lego that's on there won't change color, because I took a lot of care to put like 17 layers of UV spray on them. So it looks pretty cool in person. I'm hoping, I want to make it as readable as possible from the roadway, but we've literally never had a sign. The other thing, and this is kind of the final, we're going to talk more about our new build project, like the new group build project, which I'm hoping that literally everyone will want to be involved at in the upcoming meeting. So I'm not going to talk about that here today or touch on that. But there is one other project that I want suggestions and feedback and to start a discussion about. And that is that between our front door and the front door of the unit next to us, there's about, I'm gonna have to go measure it, but I think it's about 8, maybe 12 feet of space. And I really, really, really want to put a mascot out there. I want to build some kind of Lego. I can do the instruction. Oh, okay, fantastic. I will take a look at the chat comments, because it's kind of hard to, like, I'm not getting the full comment up on the screen, unfortunately.
Yeah, someone suggested you can make the sign bigger.
What sign? That sign?
This sign.
You mean it's bigger for you guys to see it bigger? Is that what you mean? I'll let you guys, whoever asked about making it bigger, respond while I'm real quick checking this. Okay, hang on. We got a couple people to add to the sign in. So we've got Christian. Christian, is Owen with you?
Started to Excel price says yes, larger.
Sorry, I'm just. No, Owen's not with me at the moment.
Okay, so just Christian. Okay, we've got Cole also.
A little bit, but.
Hello.
And then Roman. I don't think I had him earlier either.
No.
Okay, perfect. So Roman. Okay, yeah, I can get the sign closer so you guys can see it. It is basically just a.
No, I think in general they're talking about bigger. Like, can we build it bigger?
No, we can't, because it's a paneled sign. Like it's a the complex sign, and each unit has like a set. It's exactly this size. Each unit has a thing where you can hang a sign up there, and so this was made so that it could go on the sign at up at 420 Commerce, so everybody could read it. So basically, it's just a light pine wood grain that, as of now, has not been treated, and then the 3-dimensional. There you go. That way you can see. It's just 3-dimensional letters that are covered in Lego. Well, I would love to do something more like all Lego. Like, obviously this is a wood sign with Lego on it, because the idea was just to get a sign up. But I would love to get something like in the front window or something visible to the outside that is built. If anybody has interest in getting involved in something like that, we could either do something on clear base plates. I bought not the gray size base plates, but I bought like the standard size. I bought like 60. I think I bought enough clear base plates to like panel the entire front window out there. If we wanted to make a giant mural out of like a mixture of solid and translucent bricks, we totally could. But I really was thinking that what would be awesome would be to build something large out in front of the clubhouse. Like, you know how all the Lego stores have like a giant figure or whatever. I would love for us to build something that basically, what it could be a plant, it could be a character, it could be a thing. I would love to have a discussion about it and figure out what we could put outside that would go, hey, this is the Lego place, you know, that like would greet people right as they're coming to the door. We could build a flower box. We literally, the options are endless. Like there's a lot of choices. I will go take a picture of this space that I'm talking about, so everybody has an idea of where we're looking to put it. But I would love to get that conversation started, and for people to jump in on the Discord and basically start talking about these projects. Somebody just recently mentioned that you can use Chat GPT to help with like build instructions for like custom projects. I know that there's already a couple of different ways to get like build instructions for like giant, like for example, if we wanted to build like a 4-foot tall Mario, there's information online about how to build those giant 3D structures. Obviously, that's going to be something that we have to buy brick specifically for the project, because like, you know, for example, if you're building a minifig that's like, you know, several feet tall, you're going to need a whole lot of certain colors of 2x4s or whatever. And whatever goes out front, obviously he's going to have to be like, yes, he's going to have to be MEK'd, and he's going to have to be like, you know, probably weighed down, like possibly with like concrete or something inside of it so that it can't just be stolen. I mean, we have cameras and everything, but like, you know, still.
It's gonna have to be sandbagged.
Yeah, we're gonna have to like, you know, whether we put a chain around his leg and anchor him into the concrete or something, like we're gonna have to do something. But we're gonna make it secure, that just like the ones at the Lego store, so that if some kid, like my kid, climbs on it or jumps on it or slams into it or whatever, yeah, it doesn't end up, you know, it just damages the kid and not the Lego. That's the goal. So, yeah, so it's not that today was a long day. It's just that I wanted to kind of go over these couple of things. And then if anybody has any specific questions about any of the projects that need to be taken on, or any of the specific projects that I talked about, we have until the weekend. And my goal was for this meeting to encourage people to get on the Discord and start the conversation, not necessarily for us to have, you know, a long drawn out meeting where everybody's like in open discussion. Like our normal meetings, everybody's here in person together for the most part. And so people can actively, you know, give feedback. But my goal for this meeting, and the whole reason that I didn't tell everybody kind of until the last, well, I told everybody at the last minute because I just finally got well enough to have a conversation and speak without, you know, being so sick. But the main reason was that I didn't want to have a big, I didn't want this to be the monthly meeting. I wanted this to be an introduction to getting people talking about all these different things on Discord. So, yeah.
What time Saturday and Sunday they can come?
Okay, so I do not have any set plans for the weekend. So if somebody says that they are available, I will make my plans around you. I plan on being here all day Saturday and Sunday. Now, what all day looks like, if I've got 15 people that all want to come at 1 o'clock on Saturday, we'll start at 1 o'clock. But if I've got, you know, 5 people that are good at 10 a.m., well, I'll suck it up and be here. So I don't like mornings, but, you know, we will make this work. I'm going to check real quick. I'm not sure if...
I think someone was saying they wanted to remind people it's Father's Day.
Oh, Sunday. Is Sunday's Father's Day?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, guess what? Then we're not going to do Sunday because that's not right.
Do you have the grinder?
We do. We do have the grinder. The grinder is here. Are you seeing messages popping up?
Right on the right side of the screen.
Yeah, but they're like coming up and going. Like they're what in the written chat? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, they're in the written chat.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, sorry guys. Yeah, the comments were popping up, but we couldn't actually see, we could only see like the first 4 words of them.
Yeah, 5-word question, we got it.
Matt, you are all, yeah, Matt's also a graphic designer. It was definitely, Oh, right, Matt. I talked to you the other day. There's definitely more than one person though. Maybe it wasn't Kai that I was talking to.
We
Uh,
talked when we were sorting for the
Right.
draft.
Yeah, no, there was somebody else that I talked to too, though. I don't know if they work in anyway, but they had offered to help with that kind of stuff. So,
Well, I got you if
regardless,
you need me.
yeah, no, I very much appreciate it. I will definitely. I have the website where we're gonna get them printed, and literally that's it. So if anybody has suggestions, there's a Discord called Lug Promotion, and that's where I want to start that conversation. So like if anybody has any ideas, suggestions for what should go on our roadside signs or on our business cards, I would love some creative suggestions from people for like, what the hell should we put on these roadside signs? What will grab people's attention? I mean, obviously your options are limited because people are driving by, so you can't have a ton of text and links and stuff. But like, yeah, if people have suggestions. Okay, let me go through and answer the questions that were messaged. Okay. Paint white, can you, okay, some people are giving feedback on the sign. Floor grind. Oh my gosh, yes. Listen, Lewis, if you're available this weekend or Saturday, obviously I don't want to take anybody's Father's Day away. I think Justin's away, and so I didn't realize. I didn't know it was Mother's Day either. So to be fair, I'm not just forgetting his holiday. I didn't remember mine either. So, okay, yes, you guys, they meant larger so that they could see. So, okay, yes, same thing. Anybody that is interested, cool. The clearance sticker removal, yeah, I've got a literal pile of sets in that corner, like a massive pile. So if somebody is willing to come in and work on that, literally anytime. Saturday, what time can we come? Again, okay, so Saturday, and yes, Lewis, I do have the grinder. The grinder is literally sitting on the floor in the front room. Justin has just not had time to get back to it. He started the project. We have the vacuum up there, like the giant shop vac. We have the grinder. Everything is literally sitting there waiting for it to be done, and the floor is completely clean and clear now, so it can just be done. We just need somebody to actually do it. 3D printers. I have 2 3D printers. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Somebody Mike had mentioned that he's got 3D printers available. Yes, I would love for somebody that has experience to come in and help with these when we are trying to set them up, because I have zero experience with the 3D printers and the printing on Lego. We have not even uncrated that. It literally came from China. It's this massive printer thing that prints on Lego brick. We have to I think we have to build like jigs to put the Lego into that so that it prints on them. It's like a whole thing. Yes, please. Exactly, Matt. That's the point. If people have thoughts about the promotional stuff or the shop or please start the discussion in Discord. That is literally the entire point of this meeting. So the main purpose behind this meeting was to get actively discussing things in the Discord, so that we're not all discussing things, the general chat discussion board on the left-hand side. We want to be using the channels for what they are for. The Clubhouse Hours channel is where I post when people are going to be here. Same thing for other people that host build days or events or whatever. If you are a key holder and you want to let people know that you're coming, Clubhouse Hours is where to look. If you want to come and build and you don't know that the Clubhouse is open, Clubhouse Hours is where you request, like, hey, I'd love to come and build on Thursday. Can the Clubhouse be open? Please understand that you are not bothering or inconveniencing. Most of our key holders are happy to step up and come out if they know people want to come build. It's a lot harder for me to say, I'll come out on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, and then to sit here all day and work on projects, but never have anybody else show up. I would much rather have you say, I am available on Thursday after 4 o'clock. Can somebody be there? You might once in a while get a no, but a lot of times if a key holder knows that people want to come build, they are willing to come out and be here and unlock. Sometimes, even if I can't necessarily be here and actively doing Lego projects, I can come and unlock, and I can be working down at my other unit, like packing some orders or whatever. I might not be physically in the Lego unit the whole time, but I can absolutely let you come in and come work on projects. As long as there is an adult over the age of 18 here, and I'm on the property, I'm fine with that, even if you aren't a key holder. So if anybody wants to come out and work on projects, please let us know that you want to come and get involved.
Chime in on the Discord chats. If you guys have a chat that you want to start, whether it be about the shop or be about, stickers or projects, whatever you want to be, just let us know and start a sub chat.
Yeah, we can.
That way it's contained. That's the whole point of what Christy's trying to start with this, is that we can have contained conversations. Because when we're all in the general chat, it becomes very overwhelming for some people.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure that everyone can participate the way they would like to.
Yeah, the general chat should generally be for I don't see a group that this this conversation belongs in, or I have a question and I don't know. I'm fine with people asking a question, but the goal would be if somebody says, "Hey, what are the clubhouse hours this weekend?" Instead of telling them, direct them to the clubhouse hours, so that they're getting it to the right place. We don't want to have one massive discussion going on all on the general chat and the rest of the sub being dead, because that's not helpful to anybody. By keeping everything segmented and in the conversations where they belong, it'll make it much easier for everybody to follow the things that they want to or that they're involved in, and so that they don't have to read 60 other threads. Again, the whole point of the meeting is to get everybody discussing these different things in the discussion groups that exist for that purpose, so that we're not all posting under the general chat channel and overwhelming and confusing everyone. This is also great that if you want to be involved with the Christmas build, but you don't want to get involved with Tilewood, you don't have to read the Tilewood channel. You can just go to the Christmas build and see who's talking about what, who's getting, who's volunteering, who's getting involved. I really appreciate everybody's suggestions and feedback already. But that is the goal. There are also a whole bunch of people that aren't even on tonight that had already messaged me and said they couldn't be, but we are now going to be able to get this up. This is going to be our test for going forward, so that all of our meetings will be recorded from now on. If anybody has any questions or wants to get involved with any of the things that I've talked about today during the meeting, please step up. Let us know what kind of building you want to do. Maybe you don't have a specific project that I talked about that you are trying to get involved with. You can tell me what kind of stuff you like to build, and I can help direct you to one of these projects that would be a good fit for you. We are going to start a new club build that we will talk about at our upcoming meeting. That's a whole nother project. It's a whole brand new thing. We're hoping that everybody will hopefully want to get involved with that. But for right now, it would be great if people can try to get involved with the smaller projects that kind of need to be seen through to completion, so that the whole club can keep moving forward, that we can have a very successful summer of recruiting and letting people know what is out there and what needs to be done. So one other thing that I mentioned was that we are right about ready to print our business cards and to get our roadside signs printed. We did have a graphic designer that's involved with a group that is willing to help us with that. I'm hoping that he can also help us develop t-shirts, because for the longest time we have wanted to get shirts made for club members, and he suggested that we create a Shopify or basically an online t-shirt shop where we upload the designs and everybody can go and order from there, which seems a lot better than me having to collect money from individuals and worry about making a single specific order. So I think that's what we're going to try to go forward with. If anybody is talented as a graphic designer and you would love to help submit t-shirt designs for our South Jersey Lego user group shop, that would be awesome. The more people that want to get involved with this stuff, the better. And also we have a couple clubhouse related projects that I'm going to talk about in just a moment, dressed as my other self. Anyway, so that's pretty much the end of things. Thank you very much for watching this meeting after the fact. If there's anything that I didn't talk about or that I talked about that you want to know more about, if you have any questions, please get actively involved in the Discord, because that is the way that the Clubhouse is going to get moving and things are going to start moving forward and actually start happening. And that is the goal. We want to get building. Oh, last thing. Sorry, I did forget about talking about this yesterday and I wanted to bring it up. We need volunteers to help out with our social media. I would like to get posts being made regularly. If you would like to help with the club and to help us reach new people, to help us grow and expand and to do better, the one thing I really could use help with is people getting actively involved with our social media and making updates and posts. If anybody is interested in helping to run the club's social media, please let me know. I would love to have your help. Again, there's no point in me talking anybody's ear off about all the specifics if it's not something that interests you. But if you do like being involved in social media and you think you can help with this area, we would love to have your participation. So, that being said, if there's anything else, please get involved in the discussion groups. And if you have any questions, you can always text me, but you can also always post on our Discord because that is the goal. I'm not the only one that can answer questions. A lot of times there's a dozen other people involved in the group. And the more you get involved, the more you will feel like you are actually a member of this club. And the more that you get involved in online discussions, everybody won't be a stranger when you come out to the clubhouse. You'll start connecting names and faces, and that's the goal for this, is that we want our online presence and our clubhouse activities to all come together and be one cohesive thing. So,
Too afraid to take something on yourself. See if there's someone who wants to tag team with you on it.
yeah, like if
I'd
you're,
much rather have 2 people run something than have nobody run it at all.
that's exactly true, right? If you are like, oh, I really want to work on the Christmas project, I'm not sure about being in charge, cool, that's fine. Let me know, because I do. Again, that's the point of the getting this started, and I will take the time in the next 48 hours or so to go into each of the discussions and update each channel in the Discord with the things from this meeting that were pertinent, so that it'll kind of be a launching off point for that. If anybody is new to Discord, has any questions or specific, questions about navigating, don't ever hesitate to text me. I'm happy to make sure that things are working. Mike, thank you for reaching out and letting me know that the link wasn't working directly to the chat so that I could make sure you were able to be here. I really do appreciate that. Also, if you watch this after the fact and you get to the end, you can comment on the thread, and we will also give you your participation points for viewing the meeting. Don't anybody tell anybody. They have to get to this point. They have to have watched the whole thing. So if you do and you see this, message me or actually just comment on it and say, hey, I watched the whole thing, and I will make sure that you get signed in and get your points even if you weren't able to be here tonight. So that's fine. So that all of our meetings will be recorded from now on. And that is basically it. I don't want to hold you guys up any longer. Thank you so much for watching this, and I will see you guys at the actual monthly meeting. We have a lot of really cool things coming up to discuss, and I will see you there. All right, you guys have a good night. Thanks so much.